Hello, everyone. Good morning. I am so glad that you can join me again today so that we can continue to study Paul's conversion and call. As we have seen, Paul became one of the ablest and most successful heralds of the gospel, but he didn't start out like that. As we saw yesterday, he was a bitter and relentless persecutor of those who believed in Jesus of Nazareth. So today, our topic is abruptly arrested. And we're going to be looking in Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 5. So I invite you to open your Bibles and follow along with me, as everything that we are going to be looking at today is found in that chapter. Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 5. Our first question is, explain Saul's perspective and aim on the way to Damascus. Acts chapter 9 verse 1 and 2 tells us that, and Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slander against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest, and desired of him letters to Damascus, to the synagogues, that if he found any on this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. So we see that after Saul had that, or was a witness to the experience of Stephen, even though that bothered him, he became angry. And in his anger and madness against those that follow Jesus, he went to the high priest and asked for power to be able to seek out any that believed in Jesus, whether they be men or women, and to bind them and bring them to Jerusalem. What could possibly stop this man on his goal of persecuting those who believe Jesus? Well, that is the question. Question B says, what suddenly halted the fury of Saul, and how did he respond in fear? Verse 3 to 5. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined around about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And he said, Who art thou, Lord? So let's stop right here. Imagine this man who is determined to do his best at gathering all the people that believed in Jesus and condemn them. Now he's met by a light that brings him down from his horse and tells him, why are you doing this? Why are you persecuting me? His response in fear is, Who art thou, Lord? And in the verse 5, in the middle of it, we see that Paul was shocked to discover who is going to answer him. Let's look at that. Verse 5 of chapter 9 tells us that, and the Lord said, I am Jesus, whom thou persecutest. Wow. This is a very deep and it's a turning point for Saul. Here he meets with the one person that he hates the most, and he tells him, I am Jesus, and you're persecuting me. And so after the experience that bothered him so much of Stephen, here he meets with the one that he's persecuting, and there is no way that he doesn't have to stop and think about what he's doing. This experience works in his conscience and arouses now him to see what really his true condition. As we saw yesterday, Saul had adhered to the sect of the Pharisees, which was the most strict, and within that sect he was known for being so perfect and following all the law. He was blameless. And now he finds out that in all his self-righteous and everything that he was doing, he was wrong. We will see tomorrow how he responds and what happens to him as he comes face to face with the reality of his life. I hope that you can join me then as we continue to study this. And until then, may God be with you. May God be with each of us and bless us today. See you then.